All right, here we go.
He's the shoulder. Because he knows he can get it from you.
So we explained, we're holding, this is Likutei Halachos, Hilchos Birchas HaShachar, the blessings of the dawn, Halacha Aleph. This is the first halacha. We are still holding by the intro. We're going over the Likutei Maran Torah Nun Vav. So we're first of all we're laying down the principle that each one from Israel has a malchus, has an authority. You know that he tells other people what to do and they do it. And he says that this malchus is both overt and covert. In other words, bisgali and biskasya. Bisgali, he's the manager, he's the CEO, he's the father of the house, which is of course no guarantee people do what he says, right? Sorry about that one. Anyhow, and there is, and the biskasya. Biskasya is that even though it like overtly it looks like he has absolutely no memshal on these people, im kol zeh biskasya, behelim godel, really stealthily and secretly, he's really ruling over all these people. And the Ramina says there is one person who rules over the entire world, even though bisgali it looks like. Nobody even listens to him. He's just, just like a little shmata, in the corner. Nevertheless, Biskasya, he's the rule of the entire world. Even the tzaddikim are under him. The neshamas of everybody in the generation is under him. And he says that the malchus is a very dangerous thing. And being that it's a very dangerous thing, why? Because the rabbanut mekaveres as ba'alaya. We have a principle where the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the leadership is shortening the life of the leader. Because Kadosh Baruch Hu said to the Novi, he said, "Sofenes atich al Beit Yisrael." I think in Yirmiyah, so I put you as scout, over the house of Israel. It says, "Vataki zata Rasha midal koyin." If you are going to warn Rasha, to come back from his bad ways, so it's like this, if he's going to come back, he's going to make tshuva, fine, you save yourself and him. If he doesn't, he says he will die in his, in the kin of his sin. But you have saved your nefesh, you saved your life. But however, if you don't go and tell him, you're going to carry his avera. In other words, it's your responsibility to alert him, to have you are the one, the authority, in the position of authority. But instead of using the authority, to admonish other people or to make care of them, what you're doing, you're using the malchus like, hey, give me a glass of water, will you? Yes, you're using the malchus like a slave to fill out your taiva. What happens is the malchus itself shortens your life, not your personally. Somebody I heard it does. It's very, very far away in Ireland somewhere.
And that happens to every person on their own level.
Yes.
That possible.
Yes. Now the thing is that so the question is, first of all, if you said the malchus is gal biskasi, I tell them what to do. They don't do anything. The people that I'm supposed to be a melech, it's like, suppose the man is supposed to guard the woman. I usually tell my wife, when I'm on four under the table. While she's chasing me with a broom. It's like not really, but figuratively it's pretty close. So how can you be mechiach people? A, because they don't listen to you. Secondly, say overtly, say covertly, they're not by you. They're not by you, and especially those that the neshamas are the years, you don't even know who they are, and you don't know what they need. You don't know how to admonish. So he says like this: the way to do it is through limud Torah. When you are learning Torah, the limud Torah filters down to all the neshamas that are under you. What happens is that it alerts them, even though they don't realize it's not conscious. It alerts them to the call of the Torah, which is calling every. It says every day the Torah comes out in Har Sinai, and it says Oilem labrias mi alboinu shel Torah. Woe to the Yidden for from the element of Torah that there's Torah in the world and they don't learn it. And furthermore, and the Torah is calling out at Mosai Psoim Te'avu Pesi. Until when, fools, will you be all gaga over foolishness? That's your.
You said also that the Torah is Hashem is when you.
Wait. What's this? So it awakens that. Now the thing is like this. We said that what happens is that the way that the person is mamshich. First of all, is mochiach the people, and the way that he pulls in life into his own malchus, so it doesn't jeopardize his as we say, by learning of the Torah. Now there is a mechanism involved here. The chayos, the life from the Kodesh Baruch Hu has to come in a receptacle. Like the energy has to be in packaged and quarks to become matter. Those particles of life, those chunks of life, is called days. It's a midah. A day is a particle of life. You are going through the day. You have lived a life.
If you wasted a day, you killed a life.
That's right. But so that's the now the quark that includes, that freezes down the Lakus into, congeals it into actual living, into life, is the letters and the words and the psukim and the parshas of the Torah. And each one is a specific measurement, a specific receptacle of a specific size. Like, there's a capacitor in electricity, one has, I don't know, this many watts, this many watts, each one has whatever, I don't know what the terminology is.
No, but isn't each day the same amount of time?
What?
You said it's all packaged in the day. The day is the kli.
So, but the day itself is divided into hours, into minutes, into seconds, into
Time, the concept of time.
the concept of time. These are all the. So this is bevchinas sarei alofim, sarei meir, sarei asoras. It's the same kind of division. There you have trucks, you have hand cars. These are all receptacles to carry on, to bring about life. Now, the thing that brings the life into the days is the Torah. Why? Because the Torah is, every single word of the Torah is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when you call somebody, you call him by his name. When you call Chai HaChaim by his name, through learning the Torah, so the life from Chai HaChaim goes into your days and makes them longer. And this, through this midas, the Torah is midas and the days are midas. And when they converge together, when your days are connected with Torah, the result is longevity. Midas yomai mahi, and the measurement of my days is ma. Ma, we said, is the Torah. Ma edus v'chukim v'mishpatim. So this is. So by learning Torah, first of all, you infuse life into your own malchus, and not only that, it goes all the way down to all those that their neshama is connected to yours, and it awakens them. It awakens them. They're starting hearing the call of the Torah. What happens is you can see somebody who's like really lethargic and doesn't really feel like doing anything, and he's really not in the mood, and this, and there's no ambition, and he's going into debt, whatever it is. Suddenly tell him, listen, there's a terrorist in the street. He's coming this way.
runs faster than
Boom, boom, boom. Before he didn't know he was going to die one day. I mean, but the point is that when it comes down to you, when it actually approaches you, and the realness of it, becomes apparent to you, this is the thing that wakes you up. Because everybody knows, everybody knows somewhere in between them that they're wasting their lives, that they're living for nothing. Unless they are, so people who don't even know B'chal from the Torah, they have to achieve a certain level of despair. They have to hit the bottom, to the point that like the Chacham, that he was in the hands of the devil, from Sipur HaMaisis, it was the hands of the devil, and even then, until the Chacham had to actually take him out of there, and only then he could
realize he's there.
now. The same thing is over here. So we're saying that because now the thing is like this, and also that's why in order to call the life-giving property of the Torah, you have to learn Torah b'kol, to verbalize the words out of your mouth. You have to do that.
That has to do with every Torah you learn. Even
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you read
yeah.
a newsletter or Shabbos, you should read a story or something.
Yeah. That's the way it's done. Now, Benu says there are two kinds of concealments. There is a concealment, and there is a concealment within a concealment, which is that a double concealment, a double wrap of concealment is where the initial concealment itself is concealed. In other words, one concealment is there's a secret, but you don't know what it is. Two concealments, you don't even know there's a secret. The very fact alone that there's a secret is also a secret. So like this, there's no way you can ever find out the secret, because you don't even know there's a secret to be found. The same thing is when a person goes away from a Kodesh Baruch Hu, he forgets that he doesn't see anymore. It looks to him like the whole thing is just mishor. Nothing is like straight road. It's just smooth sailing. Nothing is missing. So we said that there are three kinds of forgetting HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of losing sight of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One of them is that you just spring off your place, like Gida Noshan. The Opchinas Noshan, the Opchinas Noshan, Opchinas wives, the Opchinas Noshan from the Shoshan. One of them is that you jumped off from the place, like when the angel touched the Gida Noshan of Yaakov Avinu, and it came out of its channel. This is like this, somebody sometime, just the one kid in the family that just sort of like gets lost somehow. You can't even put your finger on him. Boom, he's off. The second is that he forgot. He's been outside for so long. He's been clubbing for so long. Halachos for so long. He forgot about Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's like the whole notion is like some kind of it's like a buzz of a fly on a summer day. You're vaguely, but it's not part of your reality at all. This is Milashon Nishio, which means forgetfulness. This is Kinashani Elokim Es Besavi. This is what Yosef said when he gave Menashe the name. He said that Hashem made me forget the house of my father. I'm established here, whatever it is. So Nashani Elokim Es Besavi. So this is Lashon Nishon. So those are called Noshim, they are called women. From that point of view, because Nishio, forgetfulness. And the other one is that a person was already in by the Kedusha, and he did what he could, whatever it is, and he fell off, and he's just not energized. He has no koyach. It's you know like a woman, you know that he becomes like a woman, like he has no koyach. He's tired. He's fatigued. He's like from these three. Now the Rabbeinu says the follows that through when a person falls into a storah, it says in the storah itself there's the chayes of Kodesh Baruch Hu. Because the mechanism, the hiding mechanism, the concealing mechanism also needs chayus to exist. That chayus is the Kodesh Baruch Hu. So this is within their storah. So that's why you can, in principle, you can reveal to anyone, in any situation in life, you can reveal to them that you know this call of the Torah. So it says now, in the very now you have to know that Kodesh Baruch Hu did a very special trick, kind of. Now, we said that every single reality contains a Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's the battery that gives koach for everything to exist. Kiviyachol, right? In the places that are very, very far from a Kodesh Baruch Hu, that Hashem particles, the God particles, that boson, Higgs boson, whatever you want. The God particle in there is dafka sisra Torah that are very, very, very exalted and high mysteries of Torah. Why? Because being that this is such a low place, it's such a low place, and it's completely enveloped in klibos, in defilement, in tumah. There's a great danger that if you put simple Torah there, the klippas will get chayes from it. Will siphon up. So the Torah that's in it is extremely high that they have no shaychus to it.
Stories of Tzaddikim. Rabbeinu says they have to hide their Torah in stories.
I'm not sure that this is exactly the same thing, but who am I to say, right? Hey, don't hit me. And this is the dafka there, so that's why when somebody, this is very important, because when somebody fell to such a low places, because it happens, people fall into. I'm not talking about becoming fried, which can also happen. But even people fall into things. A person needs to know that dafka in his own place he can come closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu more than anywhere else. Why? Because dafka there is concealed a very, very lofty sisra Torah, tremendous chayas. And when you will be zocheh to come closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu, through you, Daika, will be revealed extremely high and exalted mysteries of Hashem. But the Sitra Acha has a way of preventing this, trying to prevent this from happening. This is through greed, taivas moment. Through taivas moment, chas v'chol malchus harasho is overtakes you. That's a malchus haman amolek that all the time chases the malchus the kedusha, that feeds off the Torah. The malchus harasho is exactly the opposite. What does malchus harasho wants? It wants to collect money. And it swallows, but why? Because when it collects money, money has in it sparks of kedusha, and so when the Sitra Acha collects money, it swallows the sparks of kedusha which are in the money, because in the money, as we said, there's a lot of very, very exalted holy sparks. this because the source of money is from this what they call the Sparos Elyon, the supernal pride of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Pride, Sparos means that it shows off to the outside. How can you see the pride of the king? The lavush, the jewels, the ermine coats, this is how the sparas of the melech is always with what you call the shining of the governance. So what we're talking when we're talking about the governing the loin, we're talking about the supernal colors. Of course, we're not talking about we're talking about physical colors. What we're talking about is we're talking about the aspects of revelation, which is awe-inspiring by the receiver. This is called that the colors are revealed. When you listen to somebody and he's like talking to you divrei chochmah, and he's like opening up, and you go like, wow. So you can say he is revealed with all his colors, with all his glory, right? You can say with, a technicolor, full color, giant screen. You can see that. So Mimela, when you say governing the law, you're talking about the supernal revelation of the Gedula of Kadosh Baruch Hu. So from that source of revelation, this is where money comes from. As the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, "Liya kesef v'liya zov," I own the money, I own the silver, I own the gold. Because both gold and silver are revelation of pride, which in the source is the pride of Kadosh Baruch Hu. The pride of Kadosh Baruch Hu, who is the big honor. And it says, and each one, the way he breaks down his Taivas moment, the more he breaks down the Taivas moment and pulls himself to Torah and Kedusha and Das Hamiti, this is how much he takes out the holy sparks from the Machas HaShor. So when you feel, why should I give it to him? Take it to me. And you break this and you give it to him. With this you take out the Itzoisus from the Machas HaShor. And everything happens with the koach of the tzaddikim avitim that really learn Torah. They learn Torah be'emetz. They have the koach to break down the Machas HaShor and to take out all the heilige nitzotzes of the money that is there, and to make it Torah. And you have to be very, very, you have to work very hard on breaking the Taivas moment. So he says within the Storah, there's great Sisur Torah, right? This is the Storah where those lost souls are, right? Those souls that are Pchinas Noshim, right? Either they sprang from their place, or they forgot HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or they just became weakened and demoralized. They're called Noshim, each one, from different aspect, from different reason. But the place where they are, the hiding place, there's a very, very high Torah there. Sisur Torah, very, very high Sisur Torah. Now, the role of the tzaddik is to look for those, and give them and bring him to Kadosh Baruch Hu. The tzaddik is, to take them out, not to take them out, to take This is the in of Mordechai tzaddik. He's the Pchinas tzaddik. Uvechol yoim vayoim, and every day and day. We said days are midas yomai mai, right? In order to bring in the life, B'chol Yom V'Yom, Mordechai mishalech. He goes, he goes into chotzer beis hanoshim. Chotzer is the outside, the base is the inside. The noshim is where all those are hidden. Why? Ladas, to bring das of das shalom, das shalom Esther, the Astora, those that are hidden in the Astora. In order to take them out of there. This is the sod of this. V'chol yom v'yom Mordechai misalech lifnei chotzer beis hanoshim ladas shalom Esther, to know, to reveal that Astora which is in there. And this is what tzaddik do. This is and the very in commensurate level to Tavis moment. This is how much das and life and longevity gets diminished, because a person cannot hear when a person is in the throes of greed. He cannot hear. He cannot hear the voice of the Torah that keeps on calling. Come back to Kodesh Baruch Hu. And because of that, the parnosa is, a person has to get his parnosa with great toil, with very, very hard work. And the parnosa is very, is very heavy, and it's very slow, and it's very mitzumtzum. But when a person widens his mind, expands his mind to think only in Torah, and he breaks down the Taivas moment, this makes this parnosa comes easy. Then he can hear all kinds of hints. He can hear, as they said, the voice of God out of the mouth of everybody, because the entire reality is telling him, is revealing to him the messages of the Torah, which is what? Which is all the good thoughts that are coming up in your heart at every time. Come back to Hashem. Come back to Hashem. What am I going to do? How can I do it? I'm not doing this now. I'm doing something I need not to do. Whatever it is, how can I do? Maybe we're going to Kisberi this one. Can I call you? Maybe you can come with us. All these machshavas, these are the hints and the announcements of the Torah of Psoy Matai Ad Matai Teruchet. These are all the messages from Mishamayim that call you, come, until you'll be zocheh to come to Kodesh Baruch Hu be'emes. Now, depression is something that comes by chasing this world and greed, and that's the poison of the snake. That's the venom of the snake. And what it does, it weakens all the limbs. It makes them heavy, and the spirit of the pulse, because there's a ruach in the dam. It produces the pulse, the spirit of the pulse. The entire chas of a person, depends on this. It becomes weaker. And now, the weaker the pulse, the ruach of the pulse, the heavier the limbs become. The heavier the limbs become, the weaker, the spirit of the pulse become. The weaker the spirit of the pulse become, the weaker the limbs become. There's a tyrant spiral until chas v'chalila mamash the neshama can go out from moment. Person can see that he's so mitzumtzum, he's so that he feels he's dying. I'm going to die. It's like, well, I can't take this.
Like Rabbeinu says, either the money leaves him or he
yeah, that's right. Through the theater, all these worries about Taivas moment, all the worries come there, all the depression comes there. But when a person does a anocha b'kedusha, this is a fantastic game breaker that changes the spiral, this downward spiral. What happens is that
for Scotty, that's a 7-point goal.
Actually, in cricket, I think there's a 6 point shot. Yeah, they have a 6 points. It's what I think in baseball it's called a home run.
Grand slam.
A grand slam. In cricket it's called a 6 pointer. I just heard this. I don't think cricket before. I don't know what the story. I know they're going and they're wearing these kind of. I don't know. And, but there is a shot that is worth 6 points. You should know. Now the thing is that is very interesting that when a plane goes into a spin. It goes into a spin. It goes into a spin, and and then it spins to the ground, and and you're trying to stir it, out of it, and it doesn't work. There is, and also the same thing with the car. With the car, can spin into the. When a plane goes into a spin, the technique is you brake the other way and you put on more speed. When you're not going to put more speed, I'm going down and says, "Hey, I want to go quicker."
It's like races, they're going like that.
And that's the way to get out of a spin. You get out of the car is also you turn it, the other way, and you don't brake. Because the first thing is you want to brake, but the only reason why you spin is because you brake, right? So you don't brake.
Yeah.
The way to get out of this downward spiral spin is to do exactly the same thing with Ruchnis, which is to give a anocha, to give a sat, to give a krechts. It's anocha de kedusha. How far am I from a Kodesh Baruch Hu? In the cobwebs of greed, of worries, and a person gives anocha says to come back to Kodesh Baruch Hu. With this, he puts in new ruach in the pulse. More ruach in the pulse, elevates the Averim. The Averim gets more ruach in the pulse. Then it goes on up, and this is how a person is being saved from the sadness, asfus ruach, that comes through, that is brought about by the devotion, the slavish devotion to the travails of Parnasa. Then a person can be zeicha to really big das, get the burm in the shamayim.
It's like what Rabbeinu says in Yesh Hevel Ba'olam, Torah.
Yep. Now, there is a big secret in this particular Indian. We learned it in Ilchas Netilis Adayim Shachas. We spoke about the Tzadikei Emes when they do their Anocha de Kedusha, and they heal their own pulse, the ruach of their own pulse. What they do is they purify their hands. There shouldn't be any kind of zomas anachash, which is the atzvus. And then the hands are elevated. They become a pchinas shamayim. From this year here, diburim from the shamayim. If you remember, you probably don't remember. Maybe you do remember, and I'm just being a schwitzer and showing my. I remember and you don't, kind of thing. By the way, yesterday I said when we learned Likutei Maran, when we get to go on, we learned, I misleaded you. So the Mr. Big Shot that knows everything, I misleaded you yesterday. So we'll get there. Anyhow, be that. All right.
We learned Likutei Maran yesterday. It was on Sunday.
So which means I already misled you long ago. Kept you out of it. Anyhow, so we said that there are 3 levels in the Yadayim. The spiritual levels. There's the physical level of this world where the Yadayim represents Koichi v'otzem yodi. Me and my power and the might of my hand. They're self-made men. I made myself. like power. I said, I created it myself. I'm like, one day I said, something, let me be. Boom. Beautiful. Just one button open, that's it. Everything else is perfect. Then there is a Yadayim Beruchnius, which is Tefillah. It says Moshe Rabbeinu, and he says, Vayiyadav Prusois Ad Bo Hashemesh, his hands were spread until, the coming of the sun. And Unkilu says, Brisan Bitzlo, they were spread in prayer, in davening. So Yadayim Beruchnius is exactly the opposite of what they are Begashmias. In Gashmias you say, I'm doing, I have the koyach in my hand, I can bring it down, whatever it is. In Tefillah means I can't, you do. I'm lifting my hands to the skies because I cannot do it, you do for me. It's the opposite. Beyond that, there is another spiritual level of the hands, which is extremely, extremely high. It's the Pchinas Esa Yadi El Kel B'Shamayim. Between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us, we have the firmament, we have the Shamayim, we have the Rakia. The Rakia is the conduit between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. We get the rain through the sky. This is how life is being given to this world. We have the light of the sun, which is derivative from the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which in and itself, it would burn us, would dry us out. But we have the sky. So the sky filters it, blocks, the gamma rays, whatever it is, and brings down to the point that everything can grow. That all the raw materials can be formed. Everything comes through this middleman called Shemayim. Shemayim is this kind of transformer, filter, whatever you want to call it, that is made out of the two elements of Chesed and Gvura. Why is it called Lama Nikra Shmam Shamayim? Why it's called Shamayim? It's a combination of Esh and Mayim. Gvura and Chesed. The Diburim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu also come in HaShamayim. Kulcha shamati min HaShamayim. I heard your voice min HaShamayim. La'olam Hashem, what are we saying in Yom Kippur, in the Tashlich? La'olam Hashem, dvorcho nitzav b'shamayim. La'olam Hashem, dvorcho nitzav b'shamayim. So the Dover Hashem is nitzav b'shamayim. Esh and Mayim, when a person's hands are so spiritual, the right hand is Pchinas Chasodim, the Chasodim is Yamin. The left hand is Pchinas Esh, is Gvura, right? So the Yadayim become Shamayim. When the Yadayim become your conduit to receive Diburim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Yadayim Beruchnius become antennas that receive the brachas, that receive the Shefa Beruchnius, they receive the Shefa that comes, from Yam HaChochma, from the sea of wisdom. This is Pchinas Shemayim, it's called the sea of wisdom. That's right. Sayadil Shamayim. So the Yadayim, when you lift your hands up to the Shamayim, the Chachamim, the Tzaddikim, when they make hanocha de kedusha and they purify, where do you feel the pulse? By the hands, right? So the hands become heavy. When the pulse becomes heavy, the hands become heavy. But so when you make a krechts bekdusha, a hanocha bekdusha, you purify your hands. By the tzaddikim, the hands become shamayim, through which they can be kabel diburim from a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So that's why it says. And now, according to the expansion of the das, this is how the parnosa comes easier. And anybody who has less das, his parnosa is harder. He has to work harder. He has to run after parnosa. You can call it garbage in the street or whatever it is. Doesn't say whatever it is. No, and as much as you're able to expand the das more, there's more peace in the world. Because machlokes and anger and cruelty comes from stupidity. It's chesed das, lack of das. Because the more there's das, the less, the more anger is cancelled out. The achmonis multiplies. There's more chesed, there's more shalom, and through the Esek Torah, you're bringing das. You're taking away the chaos from the world, and rachmonas and peace, and refuah comes to the world, because also all the machlas are war and disagreements between the four elements in the body. That there's a misbalance between the elements, the basic elements of the body. So that brings milchama. Milchama means illness. There's Talmidei Chachamim, Marbim Shalom Ba'olam, right? Talmidei Chachamim, they bring about an abundance of peace in the world. Peace means balance. It means that everything can exist. Yeah, and then he says that the tefillah of mikveh saves from all the tzaras, all the problems. You have problems, go to the mikveh. It purifies from all the tumas and from all the averas, and it brings upon you tremendously exalted das. And this is skula for parnasa easily, and refuah, and life, and longevity, and to wake people up to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and it cancels das and machlokes, and a person can be zocher to shalom and to great rachamim. And the tefillah of the mikveh of Shavuos. Now, this is the big bucks roll in. This is when the real chesed. This is tremendous exalted chesed, tremendous rachamim, incredible das, because Shavuos itself is an incredibly sophisticated and subtle seichel that is unbelievable chesadim and rachamim. Because we said the rachamim is commensurate with the das. If it's a high das, it's high rachamim.
So we place it.
Now, das does not mean intelligence. Intelligence is the technical capacity to be able to compute stuff. That's bina. Das is when you really know what needs to be known. If your bina leads you astray and tells you it's supposed to annihilate other nations, commit atrocities, genocide, that's not das. That's bina, but that's rishus. That's not, that's das and tumah. So, Asher, a person who is zocher to be mekabel the kedusha of Shavuos, especially the mikveh of Shavuos, which is the mikveh of Shavuos is Shara Chamishim, Mama Shara Chamishim. All the kedusha and the tahara is being pulled down Israel then. Now the shalom depends on das. The machlokes is the opposite of das. But wait, hold the presses. There is a machlokes which is even greater than the shalom. L'Shem Shamayim. He says that's why he says the person that says the Bes Shama Bes Hillel. That's when a person sounding like Bes Shammai says is das, even though it's not la halacha. The halacha is like Bes Hillel. Nevertheless, you should be careful Bes Shammai because they receive their diburim from the Shamayim through the Yadayim. The machlokes is the Shem Shamayim because they got the dibur from the Shamayim. It's a greater das, even more than das of the Shalom. This machlokes the Shem Shamayim is really the greatest love and peace that there is. In Mitzrayim, Bevadai, the machlokes was not the Shem Shamayim because the das was in exile. This was Korech V'Adosai. They were Cholek HaMoshe, right? But then, when they were taken out of Mitzrayim, through Moshe, with Prinas Das, there was Zoicha to this Das of Machlokes Shem Shamayim, which is really, really, really the tachlis of peace. That's what he says at Vav Besufa, that if you go to yeshiva, you hear them screaming at one another like you think they're going to kill each other. But it ends up with the greatest love there is, because the machlokes l'shem shamayim, they want to be vara amida shel Torah.
I heard that
Ad kan.
machlokes Shammai Hillel is Rashi Tevot Moshe.
Yeah.
It's perfect das.
Yes. Ad kan the kids Likutei Maharan. Bezat Hashem, tomorrow we will start. Halacha.